Welcome to the Entertainment Rants Podcast, your number one source for all things entertainment. Join host Marco Mazzola and his fellow ranters as they sound off on the latest movies, TV, and the world of entertainment. Now, here are your ranters for the hour, Marco, Mila, Larry, and Bruno.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Entertainment Rants Podcast. I am, as always, your host, Marco Mazzola, and for the very first time with our new intro, let's go around the room and talk to all of our ranters. Hello, Larry.
Hey, hey.
Hello, Mila.
Ew.
Hello, Bruno.
No.
Turn that mic off. Hold on a second. Yes.
No.
Oh, good Lord. Gang, we are wrapping up The Mandalorian, third season, with episode 8, chapter 24, The Return.
The Return.
Yeah, wasn't it titled The Shit Show?
The Shit Show.
Okay.
The Shit Show.
Maybe
season.
I'm thinking of something else.
Damn.
So this is obviously how this is going to go down tonight. I think we might be a little
I love
divided, a little, somebody's going to throw this right over the goddamn cliff.
I'm just so glad that from the
Chasm
sound of it sounds like somebody's finally on my side when I shit on something. It's usually you three against me, like, no, Larry, you're wrong. I'm like, just wait for it. And then by the end of it, you're all like, yeah, you were right. I'm like, yeah, I told you.
It's way more fun that way.
It's going to be me and Larry
Yeah.
eviscerating this
I
thing.
have a feeling.
Yeah.
So we'll start with Mila. Mila, what did you
All
think?
right.
So we get a little
I wasn't here for the podcast last
And we know you don't
last
listen, so
time,
we're just gonna
and
put
I
that
don't
aside.
listen, so I don't know what y'all's takes on that episode were. But I thought like this whole season basically has been garbage. And then I was like, man, it looks like they kind of pulled it a little bit together for the last 2 episodes. Neat.
This will be a very divided room tonight.
Wow.
Like
I want to know more. I
like that we didn't actually completely forget about the robot, like the droid, and we're like, so they were doing something with that? Okay. Although I was about to say, although they had to make it into a mech?
I have a question about that. Why did they make it into a mech suit when he had a floating goddamn pod that would fly?
Yeah. Did we talk about this
Because
offline?
it can grab
I think it was
things.
offline.
Yeah.
It can grab things and walk.
So what?
So
The other thing could
Yeah.
fly really fucking fast.
Although,
Grogu's got the force. He can just move shit.
Yeah, I did notice
you wouldn't
that I was
know that
like,
by this episode, though.
No, you would.
Yeah, I
This is
did.
the only episode you would know that.
No, because he does. And I'm going to talk about like his powers, by the way. Fuck you,
What
Grogu.
powers?
His
Yeah.
He
little
can move a
push.
goddamn
wait a minute. No, you know what? This is how it always goes. I like start with like a lightly, not always, but sometimes this goes, I have a lightly positive opinion because I just don't know the
And then we
shit show yet.
We jack you up about
You know?
it.
So I'm like, man, that was kind of neat. And then you guys keep bringing up points. I'm like, man, this was BS. This was
by
one
the
of
end
the
of
worst
this-
things I've ever watched.
By the end of this, Mila's gonna be like, "Fuck this thing." She's gonna fucking
Fuck
flip
that
the
frog
table.
and shut
No,
you down.
I'm like,
all
I'm
the
just
tables.
waiting. I'm just waiting. My rating it goes down as this goes on.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah,
Every
no.
word we utter.
Yeah, now that you mention, I was like, wait a minute. I thought the droid would be like a battle droid or something. It didn't do anything.
Nothing.
It literally just gave
Useless.
Grogu longer legs.
No, it just gave
and
him
the ability to grab things.
It gave him a
Longer
little,
But
little,
can't
what do you call
jump
it,
or anything,
Bactine
so.
spray.
Yeah. Isn't that normally like the healing spray?
That's the healing spray. Yeah, it's the Bactitane
So
spray, basically call it.
what the F?
Oh, yeah.
It's called
Oh,
the
was that
Bacta spray, I
was?
Yeah.
It's
Because I
called
was
the
like,
Bacta
what's he
spray.
doing with the
It's
solo
like the
mist?
Bacta formula.
Yeah.
It's what
Oh.
heals people.
Oh, neat.
They sprayed
Okay.
it on. Who did they spray it on? They healed like
But
his arm.
can't he heal people? He did it in season 1.
Did he do it in season 1? Or?
Yes, remember the creature? We found out how he was healing whatever the fuck it was, like the snake or what the hell it was. Didn't he heal the snake?
No, Ray did
No.
that. In,
Was that Ray? I thought
yeah,
he did.
That was
I thought
Ray.
He did it too.
That was
wasn't.
It was a movie.
No. There wasn't that. It was like one of the flying creatures or something like that. When they're out in like the desert or some shit. He has healing powers too, just like she does. That was kind of like the, oh my god, he does it too.
I don't remember.
Are you
that.
tripping?
I think it's season 1.
I don't remember that.
that's season 1.
I feel like a lot of stuff that we're like, this is a
Yeah, they were
plot
out-
hole.
they
It's
were
like,
out, like, in
no,
the
it's in
desert
season
and,
1,
like,
and I
those
go,
flying things came
No,
out.
there's
though.
some big ones.
No, I mean, yeah, there are big ones, but sometimes it's like there are things in season 1 where we go like, oh, whoops.
Missed that.
So who wants to go next? Since Mila's got a.
Well, Mila liked it, so Bruno, you can hate on
for
it.
now. Mila liked it for now.
Yeah, no. I'm ready to go on a downward spiral.
Yeah. Let's take it there, gang.
She's ready to go.
Hold on.
Easy.
Let's go on this ride.
Hold on, wait. Before we go on this ride, I just want to compliment a few things.
Yeah. This is going to be
The fight scene. Some of the fight scenes were baller as hell. Like the hallway scene was fucking awesome.
The one he was working through the red veil.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, that
went hard.
I did like how he used a weapon in the next one.
The hand-to-hand was unreal.
That was awesome.
So let me just quickly jump in, right? Force healing is an incredibly rare power, something we've not seen with many Force users before, but Grogu has it. He did it in season 1 with Greef Karga.
Okay.
When he was poisoned.
That's right.
He needs back to spray now in season 3. Couldn't just heal him.
Because we forgot about that.
Power. He spent supposedly 2 years with Luke.
No, but he used the back to spray in this episode to blind one of the guys. He sprayed it in his face, to distract him. He wasn't trying to heal somebody with it.
I thought he was spraying it at Jin.
Yeah, he was spraying it at Din, but Din was like, "Nah, I'm good."
Yeah, I'm fine.
He did do that too, but in the battle, he used it.
Yeah, which is fine. I get that. That's
well,
fine.
yeah.
I get that. That's fine.
What I was thinking.
Yeah, that's a distraction. That works. Could have just force crushed him, but that's, through the ball.
Dude, it's so funny. They've nerfed Grogu so much.
Yeah.
With every season, he becomes weaker and weaker.
Did they nerf him? Don't you have to be powerful before you get nerfed?
Hold on. No, but it's weird because it
But he lifted the thing.
Wait. And this is part of the thing that really pissed me off. I will break you. So part of the things that I don't like about him and his little fucking force push is, in this 2 seconds, it's like a little push. Literally 2 seconds later, he throws somebody the fuck off of something. I'm like, where is this energy the whole time?
It's so inconsistent.
You probably can't gas it the whole time, I'd imagine.
Hold on.
Because it drains them. Remember, every time you use a big force,
there was literally in the scene where Din and Grogu get separated, and Din's got to go fight Moff Gideon.
Okay, I got issues.
Right.
We'll talk about this.
Literally, it goes. Grogu is now on the ground, trapped by a small pipe, and he's like, "Oh no!" And he can't do shit. And then Din comes, saves him,
shoots the guy in the back.
And then all of a sudden, Grogu's like, I'm like, where was this when you were trapped under a small, itty bitty, an eighth of a pipe? Yeah. It didn't even look that bad of a pipe.
At the end of the day, it's just super inconsistent. I mean, you have to rely on them. You have to read through the lines of the fact that he's still a baby.
Well, that's the problem,
right? He's only 52, whatever he is.
But they never say anything.
Let me just preface everything we're going to talk about tonight by saying that this whole season looked like it was written by 10-year-olds.
Yeah.
They were like, this would be so cool to do. And they just did it. And they forgot to explain why. And then they were like, you know what? Let's have him get trapped under a bar. But they forgot that they made him fucking move an elephant.
So let me just jump in.
None of this holds together.
Let me just jump in and say, and then I don't know how true this is, but I saw something online today. It was a kind of a quote, if you will, from Jon Favreau, basically, who was like, he had plans for these seasons, and then Kathleen Kennedy just jumped way the fuck in too much, and she's putting all of her shit into it by season 2. And then by season 3, he's like, fuck it. Let them do what they want. I'm going to work on Ahsoka in quiet and peace.
I don't buy it.
Let them just fuck this up more, and that seems like what they did, though.
I don't buy it.
It's way too much interjection.
The only reason I don't buy it is because I have an inside line on some of the stuff that went on in the development of this.
Okay.
And I'm not going to shit on any of that, but I can tell you that there was not a lot of she interfered and changed the whole thing. No. And even if she did, it doesn't change the fact that they introduced so many plot elements that they never used. There were a bunch of elements they never tied up. They never cleaned it. If you're going to write, all right, look, here's the story. It's A, B, and C. Then at the end of it, you've got to wrap it up, right? Mila was saying it kind of felt wrapped up. But there's this concept in narrative called Chekhov's gun, which basically says when you introduce an element into a story, you need to make that element be something that is used later.
Yep.
Don't introduce an element that you're not going to use. It confuses the reader or the viewer.
Absolutely.
And they do that left and right.
Yeah.
You mean like the spies?
Like the spies, right?
Absolutely.
Right? Under the guise of we're world building. You can world build and still introduce elements that make sense, that work with the story, that get tied up, that get tied together. There's so much shit. They introduced the mythosaur.
Yeah.
Never again did we see the mythosaur.
No, see it at the end.
It was a small
for a second, but it should have been we expected oh my God, maybe maybe Grogu's gonna. You even mentioned it, Larry. Maybe Grogu's gonna tame him, or like,
but it
something.
senses him.
He senses it. So
we
I
could
think
possibly at least, and I get what you're saying. We could maybe hold on to that till next season.
Okay, so now we're
if they didn't show it at all, I'm pissed, but I'd be really fucking pissed.
We just wrapped up a season. What I don't want to do is now begin to just be like, I'm sure that next season they'll wrap it up.
I hope there's no next season.
Like all we do is apologize. We've spent this whole season apologizing for bad writing.
Yeah.
And I'm just not going to do it in the finale. You fucked up. Like you should have.
They totally fucked up.
They should have closed all these loops. They should have used a lot more of the element. They didn't stay, like you were saying, Marco, they didn't stay internally consistent. Sometimes he's super powerful, sometimes he can't move a fucking lightsaber across the ground, right? So like none of that worked out.
Right. So I feel that with this one, and we've talked about this in some of the other like Marvel shows that we've talked about, and people can be like, oh well, it's a show. The thing is they created this world for us. They created the rules. They created these parameters that they were going to live within. So that's what you sold us. We're like, okay, this is what we're going to get into. Once you yourself start breaking those rules, now you've taken me out of it. I feel like that with this season, they did a lot with that.
Yeah.
I feel like they did.
Christopher Nolan. Keep going.
Yeah. Well, it's been a while. I think that they did tie things up, but that's the problem. They tie things up. There it is. They tied up like really fucking easy. It was just like,
but
hey.
there's a bunch of stuff they did not tie up. Right. What happened to Dr. Pershing, the guy who we spent a whole fucking episode frying his brain?
His brain's fried.
We got like a sentence about that. Like, there was
him, but never see him.
The guy.
Are you telling me that whole 45-minute goddamn sleepy episode that I literally fell asleep in the middle of was so that you could just represent the fact that cloning is a thing?
It's a thing, and she took it.
Yep.
You couldn't have done it for five minutes, or throw some of that thing as 5 minutes in each episode, right? What I think was really good writing about Andor was that they did that. They had 5 plot lines going, and every episode there were 5 or 10 minutes of each plot line. Yeah. They pushed everything along.
Except for episode 6.
Episode 6 still had the same thing. It was just a really bad decision. He was in the middle of the fucking beach, like, oh, you're an asshole. What are you doing? You can't
sit down and shut the fuck up.
Yeah, shut up. But that's what I mean.
There, go the other way.
Yeah, right.
But that's what I mean. It feels like this was written by 10-year-olds. We need to do this thing. All right, let's spend a whole episode, 50 fucking 2 minutes on this. Like what? What? This was something you could have introduced in 10 minutes, and you could have wrapped it up.
The Rockin' Rangers at the end of their jetpacks. That's cool.
And then how did that finally pay off in the end? It paid off with like 12 fucking clones that were never a threat. That there was a mysterious button on the panel that just exploded them all.
That's right.
What the fuck was that?
I thought he released them, and then he's like, "You destroyed them." I was like, "Did we?"
You did.
Okay.
They weren't to destroy them. They had to self-destruct.
And then Moff Gideon
self-destruct.
Wow,
Wait a minute. What the fuck was that button for?
I don't know. And then Moff Gideon was like, "Oh, all those things, they would have been so badass. Why are you bothering telling me this now? You should have done that before when
all
they
12 of them
felt dangerous." Mm-hmm. I mean, so that whole thing. You're telling me that was the payoff?
Yeah.
That 5-second sequence when they all explode and he goes on this tirade.
The self-destruct button.
It was like drain the water. Okay, you're done.
Yeah. Why are we doing this? Why does it explode outwards?
And speaking of those clones, we've all watched the Clone Wars, right? So we know like the Camino's very well explained the cloning. Okay, so we cloned this one guy, we sped up their age so they're all the same age. He asked for one to not be sped up so we could treat him as his son. That's where we get Boba, right?
Yep.
All right, Moff Gideon, you're not a young spring chicken. Why did you make all these clones exactly your fucking age? Why weren't they like, I don't know, younger? Maybe a little bit more fit. No, he made them all. More fit. I don't know. Like he made them all fucking old guys.
If you're cloning, maybe you just have to clone the way you are.
No, because again, I just said the Caminos. Yeah. We saw that when they cloned Django. They sped up the age process so they could be ready for battle. Right. He said, leave one alone because I want to raise him as my son. Yeah. And that's where we have Boba.
Right. Yeah.
So we have that technology. Mm-hmm. So again, you're the old Moff Gideon. You're an old dude. Why would you clone
Moral
other
dudes.
moral
Bunch of
dudes.
old guys.
And
Do we need morals?
to be your quote unquote
Some more
army.
FBI guys, I guess.
Okay, boomer. Okay.
I mean,
That
was
this
kinda-
geriatric club stormtroopers.
yeah, like all right, are we just gonna give them all fucking mech suits so they can be strong? How about you just I don't know, just clone younger versions of yourself? What the fuck?
Yeah, like
that's a
that,
good point.
That,
Yeah.
point.
Bane mask is just gonna be like Ben Gay and
Yeah.
keep them going.
Yeah, we're going to be beautiful. You fucking idiot.
Sure, pal, sure.
But so that's my point, right? A 52-minute episode for a 30-second at the very end of the last episode, where and then there's no threat because they all died.
Oh, I'm
right?
sorry.
Yeah.
Did you say that?
Fuck off.
Did you say that this episode was 52 minutes?
No, the third
Oh,
one
okay.
when they did the Dr. Pershing.
Yeah,
when he
okay.
was
Yeah.
Because I was saying
crazy.
this one was only 42. You know, 42-minute fucking finale.
Yeah.
I mean, better than some of the other movies ones we've gotten. But yes, I agree with you, Larry. It definitely needed to be longer. But given what we got, do you really want more of what we got?
I don't want any more.
No,
Well, that's my point.
I'm done.
If you were to just say
8 minutes of the same shit.
If you were to say,
For a
look,
longer
hey,
fight.
this last episode was just I just made a cool 42-minute thing. Check it out. I'd be like, oh, that was pretty cool. Like, you had some shit going on. The battle was fun.
The battles are always cool.
I
Yeah.
love seeing Din Djarin move his
I'll
way
stay for the
through,
battles,
right?
but that's
the
it.
hand to
Battles
hand
were
through the
great.
hallways on
But-
both sides were awesome. The
Yeah.
fucking battle up in the up in the air
Gorgeous.
with the
Phenomenal.
jetpacks.
Yeah.
So good.
Okay, wait.
Uh-oh.
Remember we talked about jetpacks and we were like, oh, they ran out.
I was hit on
They
this.
did it,
Fucking
motherfuckers.
Axe went from goddamn
And I-
surface to low orbit, which on Earth low orbit's about 1,200 miles.
So I don't understand how that
without
happened.
losing his fucking
God
jet.
damn it!
And I
it's
want to
so
hit on this, too.
inconsistent.
When he
It's
did that, I was like,
He
fuck
went,
you.
He went all
They
the way to
keep-
the fucking ship.
They keep trying to wrap things up in
I
quotations
seem to feel
nicely.
vindicated now.
However, but the thing is,
I was
it's
like, I
still
defended you,
consistently
asshole. So
inconsistent.
So this is what you feel like?
Yeah, it's
When we
pulling
go
You know?
to your side?
It's
Now you're
consistently
on my side with these
inconsistent.
fucking
Yes, it is.
jetpacks?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It has not been like, it's always like, let's open up another plot hole. Let's try to tie these things up while also having everything loose. Let's try to do this. Let's try to do that. Let's forget about everything we just wrote.
Yeah, they
And-
literally just forgot about episode,
You know?
like, 5 or 6?
Yeah, when the
It's-
jetpacks
it's
ran out.
so-
Now they don't.
Yeah.
Hideously
ones.
inconsistent.
So when we were talking about the jetpacks in that episode,
Yes, I
we
feel
were
very
like, oh, they
vindicated.
probably went like 30 or 50
Yeah.
miles. That was a long
And we
way
were
to
good
go.
with
jetpack.
that.
This
We were
motherfucker
okay.
from Seventh
He
from
went
space.
1,200 miles to break orbit, which, by mind you, requires a lot more. In order for us to do it right now, we've got like 300,000 gallons of chemical fuel. So like he just did it, 1,200 miles up.
He just did it. Like,
He's like, man, I should go
he's like,
up
nah,
now.
he's
All
like,
right.
I got this. I don't need a spaceship. I'll just get into orbit.
and that was like
With my
I'm
jetpack.
It's just me and my helmet.
Yeah.
No problem.
And then, well, we know from Din Djarin, you can see
I mean,
it.
okay, but
Yeah.
I mean,
There's
at least they determined that
I understand
before.
coming in, you get the heat. I don't know about going out, but like the shit that you.
Well, you just slow down your entry. You
he
can
went
do
out
that.
of fucking orbit. There's no way that he should have went with a
1,200
jetpack. I don't give a
miles,
fuck.
no
There's- He went from surface to the spaceship. There's no fucking way he should have been able to do that.
And then he
How
came
fast?
back
No way.
down.
Then he came back down.
So you're a
Plenty of
physics
fuel.
guy.
Don't worry.
You're a physics guy. How fast do you have to go into break orbit? I mean, now he's only a person. He's not a spaceship.
So in order to break orbit, you're typically need to leave. Your velocity has to be like around 8 to 9 meters per second.
right.
So I think it's 11 meters per second.
I mean, can he pull that off? I mean, it's just a person now. He's not like a rocket ship, obviously. Not a spaceship. It's just a person
Yeah. I mean, he could
with a jetpack that was obviously very well fueled.
Well, not even discussing like the fuel requirement for that kind of
Yeah,
projection.
we'll ignore that because science.
He could theoretically, depending on his technology for that jetpack. I don't know anything about them, right?
Yeah.
But like, all you need is.
What, you mean you're not a
he's
Mandalorian?
he's only 180 pounds, right?
Yeah.
Roughly.
Yeah.
But 100, called 200 to get that moving at that speed, you'd need some fuel. You'd need a really good
Thrust.
thrust,
Some
but like
really
you
good
could do
rockets
it.
that don't burn your fucking feet off.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but we know that though. No, they train.
Look,
that shit.
we're in Star Wars land. I can forgive little things like what about his feet?
His ass.
What about his little tootsies? They're gonna burn.
What about his tootsies?
his tushy? How about his tushy?
Oh no! I can forgive those things. I don't really care about.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Yeah, there's definitely things in the Star Wars world.
I'd love to have one on jetpack, so I'm not going to bitch
Where
about
it's
that.
like, why didn't this really specific physics thing
I
happen?
thought
I'm
the
like,
fuel
I
thing
don't know.
immediately.
I take it back. It's not 11 meters per second. It's 11 kilometers per second.
Oh, that's a lot faster.
He's not moving 11
That's a
kilometers
lot
per second on those fucking
faster.
jetpacks.
He was not moving 11 kilometers.
No. Even when he's going
That's
just,
like 6
even
and
when
a
he's
half
just
That's
going,
about 6.5 miles
It's
per
about 6.5
second.
miles per
even when he's
second.
going parallel to
That's
the
fucking
planet,
fast.
they're not moving
That's
that
mad
fast.
fast. That's
Forget about up trying to break gravity. Even when they're going along the
That's
planet,
like-
they're not going that fast.
Right.
It's like here and
So,
here.
Fucking falling, they weren't going that fast.
That was.
So in essence, no.
No.
No, there's no way.
Right, so again, that's
breaking the fucking orbit.
it's Star Wars land, so we have to like. Sometimes we just have to take the fucking
This is a
disbelief,
pretty
right?
big planet
Yeah.
too. I mean, that was a pretty.
Like, all right,
Yeah.
fine, whatever.
Yeah,
you
it's-
fucking, you managed to put on your
Mandalorian's
jetpack
a
and your
pretty
helmet
big
and you
planet.
fucking flew from the surface up to the fucking spaceship.
Right,
All
that-
right,
that would
Stuff
get
like
you-
that I can forgive.
You
yeah.
could fly halfway
it's
around
mostly
the
just
world
the
in
plot
about 20
stuff for
minutes
me.
at that speed.
Yeah.
Usually I'm like, oh, he flew
Sure
up
he
with
did.
the rocket. Okay, cool.
Sure he did. So
I'll live.
But
I'll move on
did
with
you
that.
see did you see, I don't know, a light space cruiser fall to planet?
Yeah.
we did. Yes, we
You know what?
did. As the work of
That
a
looked
certain
pretty
ranter.
fucking cool.
Yeah, I think that looked
That is the
awesome.
math of a
Bruno,
certain ranter at this table.
if I was like, what's the physics involved and making that happen?
We got this kind of time.
In
A
making
lot?
that happen?
Yeah.
You just got to slow it down enough so it falls to the earth.
That's awesome.
I mean, he aimed it. So when I did the calculations for them, they told me that it was coming down flat, not nose down.
Oh.
So it came in at a flat speed with its nose down. So it was actually coming in a little slow.
Yeah.
I didn't know. They didn't tell me it was coming. They must have reoriented it later.
Looked cool though. I mean, well, it makes sense to come down nose in though.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like it was just kind of falling up, but then he
I
kind of
think-
drove it into the crack. Like,
Well,
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
purpose, like fuck this. I'm just gonna nose.
I'm also
it in.
I'm glad
That's
that
right. It
I'm
was
glad
an
the captain
intentional-
didn't randomly
Yeah. It
decide
was
to like
intentional,
go
yeah.
down with the ship.
Yeah.
He used it
I'm
like a
like
missile,
that would have been
essentially.
useless. You know,
Yeah.
He used it as a weapon.
would have been pissed.
Absolutely. No, but that was good though. Like, again, like so for this.
So it
like,
came in a little bit slow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all right.
Given
it was,
the
it was,
nose
it was
down.
cool visually though because you got the
That
thing
looked
kind of break away.
amazing.
So
That
this
looked
is
awesome.
so this is the one thing that like with every single episode, every time I talk shit about a certain part of the episode, it's like then I see some amazing visual stuff and I'm like, fuck.
The visuals were amazing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, those
It's been
were
amazing the whole season.
amazing.
The only issue I have, and I know the guys that did this. So the only issue I have is
pay attention.
not the visuals per se, but how the director decided to move Grogu. They made him move like a puppet instead
Yeah.
of, and we talked about this
They do that a
before.
lot.
But like for example, the Yoda Dooku fight.
Yeah.
Yoda takes his robe off. You brought this up, Marco.
Yep.
I think it's a good point. You could see him bend down and jump. You
His
could see
feet,
the
yeah.
movement, right? It all holds. Grogu was essentially like a puppet, and the direction was, I want you to move him kind of like he's a puppet, and it was
Why?
just-
He's not a puppet.
Really?
He's a fucking living
well,
being.
no,
That was
Right.
they made
He's
they
meant to
made
be
a
a living
conscious
being.
decision about that.
Like he's meant to be a living being.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I mean, and the animators are top notch, right? These
Oh, yeah.
guys.
Oh yeah. They all
And
look at him
so,
like, what are you talking about?
yeah, it's
what I don't
They
incredible.
go, I want this, and the animators are
Like when he was
Are
jumping
you
around
sure about that?
on the light when the
he's running on the
Praetorian
lights.
guard was trying to
Yeah.
get him. I was
Yeah.
like, is this a fucking circus? What the hell
That
are we
looked
watching?
so
That was-
janky.
ooh,
that was a
Yeah.
horrible fucking
That was bad.
scene.
And that was
bad.
exactly the way they wanted it. It's not like they gave the animators like do this thing and then it didn't come out well. It came out exactly the way they wanted it. They intentionally had
It's
to
so
like
bad. That's tough.
That was distracting.
So that's one of the reasons, kind of going
That
back
whole
to a
scene was
personal level. Like
distracting.
people always ask, like, why didn't you go into art? Like do art? Because Delia and I used to do art all the time together, right? And people always ask me all the time, like, why didn't we do art? Why didn't we do art together? I never followed up with it as a career because that's the reason. Because other people want you to like do something for them, but they want it their way. And they do stupid like things like that. It's like, oh yeah, no, that's not how that works. That's not what it looks like. That's not what the physics of it. No, I'm not fucking doing that because I had to put my name on it and say, yeah, that was mine. I did that. Yeah, but it looks like shit. I'm like,
Yeah,
I
but
know
you're-
that's
yeah.
the way they
yeah, but
wanted it.
you're getting paid to do it, so you got.
I know.
But that's
was-
It's still unfortunate that you're into that position.
Yeah.
You know, it's like abusing
Because
your
you fucking
artistic
know
abilities.
better, and you're gonna put your goddamn
Well,
name on. it. Go, yeah, you got paid for that. Yeah, I know I did,
Look,
but I know better.
Look, I've
But then
had
it's like, you got to get somebody else to give you a fucking job. And they're going, you did that? That looks stupid. And I'm like, and you got to go, well, that's the way they wanted it. And they're going to go, okay. Sure.
I mean, so there's. I mean, if
That's how
you've
good
got,
you are.
well, if that's the only thing you've got to lean on, then maybe you're not that great of an
could be.
artist. But like,
But you're only as good as your last.
you know, in that world, you've got a reel that is minutes and minutes long,
Sure.
and so that's just going to be a 5-10 second piece of it, and you can't
Or just leave it
explain
out.
saying, I mean, a lot of it is, look, I'm just a guy who's getting paid to do this. I can do this awesome shit over here, and here's some examples. Somebody gave me the guidance to do this other thing this way.
I imagine nobody on the team was like
I
their first
understand
try.
that. What do you mean?
Like there wasn't anybody on the team who was like, "Hey, it's my first day. Let me take a crack at this Grogu guy." You know what I mean? Like they didn't give it to like a first timer.
No, they're all good. No,
yeah,
no,
all the people on the team had to have been experienced at some point.
The
been
team
there
is
for a while.
very good. They're gonna
Yeah,
be
no,
all
that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. I'm giving them props because I guarantee they didn't pick somebody, fresh. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Say, hey, let's
again,
get someone
at
that's
the end of the
Grogu
day,
character.
though,
He's not too important.
somebody told this great team, this is how we want it done. It's like,
Yeah.
fuck. All right, man.
Yeah,
Like,
but
They
you are
need
looking
food
to
on the
ball out.
table,
So
so,
look,
you know,
it's
that's not.
it's
They can't really argue with that very much.
in their defense, which sounds kind of weird to say, but like it is just an artistic opinion, right? The directors wanted to do it like this, and
Yeah.
that, I don't
Yeah.
necessarily think it was the best way to do it, but they have a way. And these guys have created great shows that all we were like, yeah, these are amazing. So this was a miss.
Mm-hmm.
So in my head, this was a miss. Could have been a lot better. Not my art, and also
It's just
like
too bad the animators can't go, no, try again.
Yeah.
We're not doing that.
no,
Yeah.
you
You know what I
can't.
mean?
You can't.
That looks stupid.
yeah, because they're like, that's cool. You don't have to. There's the door. Pack your shit. I'll get somebody that will.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
enough for nothing.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is gonna say no? Sorry, ILM or whoever is doing. Like, I don't want to come work for you. I'll raise my hand. What do you want me? I'll just to get in the door. I'm in.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the thing, right? And then when it comes
You just
to
gotta
art,
make decisions.
art is very subjective. So like,
Yeah.
some people probably love the way he was moving, which is fine. It's just not my thing. It looked very puppet.
Those people need a punch in the head.
Yeah.
Well, listen, not for
Bring it around,
nothing.
we'll take care of it.
Not for nothing, but him hopping around like that, I don't know if it was better or worse than him walking around in that stupid fucking mech suit. Like,
Yeah.
you spend, and his part, and this is something else that they did throughout this whole season, is they introduce something, they either don't do anything with it, or they show it to you, they put it in your fucking face, where they shove it down your throat just to destroy it in like 2 seconds over, like, and be like meaningless. Like we put him in the mech suit for 2-3 episodes,
Yes,
and just
but tell
Oh, yeah,
me-
and then we took him out of the mech,
but
so that's
tell
not even
me
going to be a thing anymore.
What
so.
advantage that mech suit had
Right.
at all for him?
None.
none. They
Even
were
though
I
it's
there was
thought,
battle,
I thought that it was
what
at least going to have a blaster or something, but then I was like, wait, it doesn't even have a
'cause it's
blaster, he's
fucking-
just walking
it's
around in
a
this
bounty
thing?
hunting robot, essentially.
Yeah.
They
Right.
nerfed it and then just gave it to him. There you go. It was a big
I
sword
mean, it had
for
a
you.
yes/no button.
Great.
Yeah.
I tell
Thank
the stormtroopers,
God.
no.
Again, but you spent so much time on this mech suit, you gave it basically nothing. It was useless, and they just destroyed it in like 2 seconds. Like, all right, well, yeah, we're all
Yeah.
done with this.
I mean, it didn't
So
really
it was
fight the-
completely
he
pointless.
He literally moved better outside of the fucking mech suit than he did while he was in it.
Right. It's not like it allowed him to like run, jump, flip or anything, do a
wearing his giant
cartwheel.
anchor suit.
He
You
just
know,
walked.
and Din
it's-
Djarin was like, "Stay with me, just be, stay close to me."
It'd been easy if I had my little floaty
Give me,
thing.
yeah, give me my little floaty ball back. I'll be right up your ass if you need me to.
Yeah. But like you said,
So
there are a
many
bunch of shit
weird
they threw at us.
decisions.
I think there was a lot of fan service that they kind of did.
Yeah.
Which I have no problems with. The problem is when you're leaning on the fan service to make the show good.
I hate
Like
that.
it should
Right, it
be
should be an additive,
It
not
should be
a-
well
not
written
your-
show.
shouldn't be your
And
pillar.
then that fan service makes it awesome.
It should be
Yeah.
holding
not
up
like
the show.
that's
Yeah.
right. It shouldn't be holding up the show. And I felt like they,
You know, and it should be like
they were
the
hoping
fan
that
service should be
propped it
like
up.
something
Yeah.
like on the side, like,
That's
oh
right.
shit, did you see that? Like,
Yeah.
like when they were
Yeah.
talking, did you see
Yeah.
like whoever was walking behind him? You're like,
That's
oh
right.
shit.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
I need another whole bank over here.
Yeah, you need a yes and no
Yes.
button.
God, no, you don't.
Yes,
no,
I
you
do.
don't.
I wouldn't be like, no, you don't.
No,
no, you didn't.
no.
See, that would have worked right then.
So we go through all that stupidness, right? And
Yes.
Fucking Moff Gideon's legit like whipping the shit out of Din Djarin.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
So
is
again,
it
going
me
back-
or is Din Djarin just not a great fighter? I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah, he was
gets
a
his
great
ass
fighter.
No, he's a
kicked
great
all the
fighter.
time.
It's just that Moff Gideon.
Constantly getting his ass kicked.
It's just that Mandalorians are better together.
Yeah, you
That's,
got that,
that's
right?
it. Although I'm kind of glad that it.
He's fighting those troopers behind the blast
He kicks
shields.
the shit out of those troopers, which was so fucking
Which was
cool.
just-
But
That was
Moff
very
Gideon's
cool.
just built
That was
different.
just-
Then gets his ass whipped by Moff Gideon.
Although he has the new and
in the mech
improved
suit.
tech and stuff,
That was episode 1.
Yeah.
yeah. So it's harder
episode
to
What?
That scene.
what?
That was episode 1. That was Qui-Gon and fighting Darth Maul behind the rage.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
One
No,
shuts
yeah.
down and gets a little close
So
to him.
there's-
Yeah.
And
Ben
that was-
Obi-Wan was going to try to get to him. Same scene.
It's the same exact scene.
Yeah.
And that was legit. That was the feeling that I got the moment I
that
saw
did
that.
it
I was
on
like,
purpose.
all
They did it
right,
on
but
purpose.
I was okay with that. Again, that's that little fan service. I'm like, all right, I could get behind that.
Yeah.
But he goes to fight Moff Gideon. Moff Gideon kicks the shit out. He's kicking the
But don't
shit
forget,
out of
he's
him.
got a Mandalorian outfit.
Oh, yeah.
He's got like a mech Mandalorian.
It's a mech
outfit.
Yeah.
Mandalorian.
So I wasn't
It's
too
a-
bugged about that because I was like, damn, he's really getting his ass handed
he
to him.
had to.
But it's because he did have that like way new and improved tech.
He
Yeah.
had
So
to.
it's way
There's
harder
no
to
way
hurt
he can
him.
hand-to-hand
Right.
combat
Just
against
like he can do that to the other guys, but like he
Yep.
couldn't do that to Moff.
So they do all that, and then Bo Katan comes in and fucking shoots him when he's about to really fuck up Din Djarin, and she's like, "I got him. You go save your child."
Yeah.
Fuck all of you. Then we get
Flipping around the lights in
another.
there.
He's flipping around the lights. He's shutting the lights and shit out. So
Fucking our lights up in there. You won't get him.
I'm kind of glad that
Yeah,
like
but that's when the show, like, oh, wasn't it supposed to be Din Djarin's show and he's supposed to overcome the big bad guy? No. He just like, all right, I'm gonna go save my
Yes and no,
puppet.
lad.
right?
And then she essentially tried to defeat him.
They morphed the show because it's called The Mandalorian, not the Din Djarin show. It's The
I
Mandalorian.
that's bullshit. No,
She's a
no,
Mandalorian.
bullshit,
They're
bullshit,
all
bullshit. No,
Mandalorians.
no,
It's gonna be
no,
about
no, no.
everybody. But that being said, I agree with you. I want it to be about him.
Yeah.
He's the only fucking Mandalorian I care about.
Yeah.
He
For
was- he
two
was
and a
the- he
half
was the-
seasons, it was about him.
he was the- well,
You
that's
can't
enough.
just shift it now.
That's enough of him and his little froggy friend. Okay, now we need some other people.
No,
We have to build a bigger world. Because now we're gonna go into Ahsoka and all these other
Yeah,
shows.
but here's the best-
We need Bo Raton's over there.
No,
hurting
I
her
don't even
show.
want her show because I've already seen her show. We saw
God,
it this
don't-
season.
Are they gonna give her a show?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh fuck.
No, see, and here's the thing. It would have been great if when the armor center, and I said this when it happened, if when the armor was like, go get us more people, if she was like, I'll be back, see you in a hot second, and she left, and we didn't see anything about her until the very end, the extra credit, the after credit scene, and she comes back, she's like, I got my crew. Ah, shit. They're about to get sent to Billy Badass. Now we got the Bo-Katan show. No, instead, you gave me her whole fucking show on the back end of The Mandalorian. And all you people that are like, oh, it's called The Mandalorian. Really? Because this whole fucking for 2.5 seasons, 3 seasons, they weren't saying, hey, Din Djarin, what were they calling him? Hey, Mando. Oh, he's The Mandalorian. Not a Mandalorian.
Yes.
He's The Mandalorian.
The
That's exactly
definitive
right.
article.
Right, so this whole fucking time they're like, yo, Mando. The only people that were calling him Din Djarin were the other fucking Mandalorians. So again,
Yeah.
going back to this, you set up a set of rules. You set up a parameter. You told me that this was The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you decide to change your fucking mind because your writers suck? Fuck out of here.
No, they didn't change their mind because
Eat
the
a bag
writers
of
suck.
dicks.
They changed their mind because they want to build in other shows.
Which they could have done. But if they wrote it...
They gotta create.
I
other
get-
shit.
I understand, but if they
Can I
wrote it
build off of
better-
something that Larry's saying?
Think about all the
Can
stuff. Go ahead.
Yeah. Can I build off of what you're saying?
Absolutely.
And what you just
Support
said.
me.
Something that like Disney in general has been doing with their shows is making a show solely for the purpose of making another show.
Yep.
They like that's what they've shifted into. Or making another movie. Or making a movie for the purpose of making 8 more shows. Like can I? And that's what this season of Mando turned into. It turned into we only made this season so we can make 3 more shitty other shows.
No, they made
or
this
maybe
season
they'll be
because it was
good,
a
maybe
cash
they'll
grab.
be shit, you
This
know.
was a cash grab.
But that's it. Like that's the sole reason the season's here, and like that's what they keep doing.
Yeah, they need to.
They keep
need
shooting
to,
themselves in the foot.
They need
I know
to
they need
promote
to.
their new shows within somehow.
I know they need to,
They don't
but
really
they never nail it.
advertise.
They have not nailed it once.
Well, that's
Yeah, but
because
They keep doing a dog shit
Yeah, that's
job at that.
exactly right.
They go
Right.
like instead of going like, ooh, this might happen. They did that with Ahsoka. I love the way they did that. Right? We saw her.
Don't get your heart set
she
on
had an
Ahsoka being
episode.
good.
No, I'm not.
After this.
I'm not. But that was
trailer
more.
looks
That
good.
was
That's
more.
probably the whole thing of it.
That was a
Trailer's
more.
the best part, I bet.
That was a more tasteful
Larry's
way
mad.
that they did it, though. You know,
I agree.
where she had a moment in an episode, and it was like, oh, cool. She's gonna go do her own thing, and we'll get a show.
And they should have
But
done that
what
with
they're doing
Bo-Katan.
here is they're just going, okay, this is the Bo-Katan show,
It became the
and then
Bo-Katan
we're gonna
show.
make another Bo-Katan show.
So here's my
Like,
issue.
what?
Here's my
What are
issue
you
surrounding
doing?
all of that, right? We just learned in the second to last episode Bo-Katan's backstory, essentially. Because most people here probably haven't seen Rebels or Clone Wars or anything
It's
like
possible.
that.
You have to explain it, yeah.
So they did a bunch
It's
of
somebody's first
exposition.
homework.
Yeah,
She talked about
Right.
like why she forfeited the and all that
Dark
stuff.
Saber.
Yep.
And so like we
forgotten.
met her a whole season ago. You should have done this sooner. Right? You can't just introduce it at the very fucking back end of this whole thing. And then on top of that, the Dark Saber,
I'm guessing Larry has a note.
They introduced
if you
the
can
Dark
see
Saber.
him, he's about to lose an
No,
eyeball
but
or
listen,
something.
they
I don't know what's
introduced the
happening.
Dark Saber.
We'll give Larry a little break, Donamichi.
Din Djarin never figured it out, and they could have like they never had Din like playing with it, doing some self-exploration, like maybe growing as a character.
God,
Wait.
That makes me so mad.
Can you
then they
change
crushed
that
it.
word exploration? That sounds really bad and dirty.
Self-masturbation, flagellation,
Twice on Sundays.
twice on Sundays.
But
But that's what I'm saying.
I know where you're going. I was
So-
going in
so
the same spot.
There's a plot element that they never did anything with, which would have been cool,
And it was
right?
fascinating.
Yeah.
It was such a cool possibility.
We
remember
don't need it.
Sure.
Fuck it. We're gonna crush it. What?
Yeah, they just crushed it.
Again?
Why?
You introduced me to this Dark Saber in season
And
fucking one.
you never used it. What did she do? She used it when she fucking flew into battle at the very end.
It was never important.
She killed like 5 guys with it. She poked a hole in the fucking blast door with it, and that was the end of it. And then it got crushed. Why? You had a whole thing where like Din was like exploring his inner emotions.
The symbolism of the Dark Saber
Why couldn't
absolutely
he?
was worthless. Apparently.
Yeah, it was fucking.
Yeah.
But for 2.5 again
They wasted it.
for 2 and
That was
7/8
the
of the
biggest waste of
season.
time.
And here's why this
Biggest
whole
waste
thing
of
was
time.
written by 10-year-olds, because they were like, it'd be cool to have a Dark Saber, and they just did it. And then they were like, oh, let's have them crush it.
That's been around for a while.
They didn't know, but what I'm saying is they introduced it into they took it out of the cartoons and they
Yeah.
brought it into real
So-
action.
And decided
they
to
put into-
shit
the
all
minute-
over it.
The minute you put it into here, now it's become much more widely dispersed, right? So
Yeah.
so they put it in here because it was quote unquote cool. Then they never did anything with it. They never explored it. They
Well,
didn't
they put
have
it in because
Jin.
they had to. If you're gonna have Bo-Katan in there with Gideon and their whole thing,
fine.
if you're gonna stick to the canon, you have to bring it in. Otherwise,
Yeah,
it's
but
useless.
Then why give it to Din and have him be like, I don't know why
That's the
I
useless
can't
part.
use it.
That's
when he was
the useless
fighting,
part.
When he was fighting Paz Vizsla in the very beginning
Yeah.
of the first battle, like he couldn't hold it. We never really figured out why. Like there are lots
Right,
of theories.
but it gave
But they-
potential for him to grow as a
armor.
character.
Yeah.
Grow.
Then we actually
didn't
got
grow.
less
Yeah.
character after
No,
that.
no.
Then he's
but-
like,
but
fuck
they
it, I
kind
can't
of-
use this. Here you go.
But they kind of explain it. I mean,
The armorer did.
Yeah, so they do kind of explain why he's not really good at it. So it's
Yeah, but
they gave a
that-
bit of an exposition about it. But again, like what bothers me with it is you had so much symbolism with this Dark Saber and how it was supposed to be the thing, like the leader. Now again. The old Mandalorians, so basically like the armor and all those people, the cult, the Children of the Watch, they don't give 2 fucks about the Dark Saber. Like that's
Yeah,
for
but the
them,
other people
it's-
who lived and died by the Dark Saber were also assholes too, because they were like, oh, fucking, what's his name? The
Axel Wolf?
Sith. No, the Sith that got the Dark Saber in Rebels for a little while.
Oh, Darth Maul.
Darth Maul. He was a fucking. They were like, okay, you have the saber.
Well,
now
yeah,
you're
no,
leading
yeah, no,
us,
right.
fucking Darth Maul.
Well, yeah,
right?
that's because Darth Maul was
So
leading
they were
the
bad guys.
people.
But nobody would argue that that's a bad
Known
fucking
bad
choice.
guy. Yeah,
right?
it's a known bad guy.
Quote unquote known bad guy. Oh, but you're holding this fucking sword, so now you're
we
just
gotta
our
follow-
leader.
yeah.
We got to follow you. Fuck off, you guys as well. So like.
So aren't you glad it's gone?
Of course
now
I
you have
am.
that kind of stupidity anymore?
It's a focal point for fanaticism, but they introduced it. They brought it in from Rebels,
but now
and
it's gone.
and then
It's
they
crushed.
never had.
That fanaticism is now crushed,
I
and now they're
understand,
together
but-
on the planet, working together.
I'm not
down
discussing
the-
whether
down
it's
the,
good or not that it disappeared. I'm discussing that they introduced it and never
the
used
story
it.
behind, yeah,
They didn't do
it's-
shit with it.
They didn't. They gave it to Din. They never had him explore his own emotions.
You know
They
what would've
gave
been
it to
great?
her. She just could use it no matter what, and then they just
And it
fucking got
crushed.
destroyed.
You know what would have been great if at the end of it, like they win. She still has a Dark Saber. And she says, "You know what? We don't need this anymore to unite
Yes.
us."
Now
Boom.
you're talking.
You know, it's like have a better way to get rid of this fanatical symbol or whatever.
I
You
don't
this and that.
know. That just seems like she's doing it again. Didn't she give it up once?
No.
People like to say like I'm just gonna give
right,
it
but that,
can.
but that was no. She surrendered it to Moff Gideon to quote unquote say.
But she's gonna throw it in the water.
No. But if at the end it's
feed it to the fucking mythosaur.
Then it kills that thing. Like
mythosaur's fucking ancient.
He's Bill. He's Bill.
She could throw it in the super forge. But again, like if she destroyed it like that, with all the people, she's not giving it up. She's not giving it away. It's a symbolism. It's going, hey, you know what? We are now together.
Yeah, Mandalorians are more than this.
We are more than just this dark saber that separates us.
Yeah.
And she destroys it in the fucking super forge.
That would have shown.
Instead of going like, hey guys, about the dark saber, it's kind of
Am I still the leader? What do you think? Am I still the leader?
Are we still doing this? I know he crushed it in my hand and he basically whipped my ass.
But I'm still kind of the leader, right?
Right.
Because we killed him.
Yeah, it's like this weird ambiguous type of what do we do with that? We all good?
Three orange whips.
Yes.
But yeah, it's like that was one of the things I was like, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
So you introduce these things to me, you shove them down my throat, you tell me like you're trying to show the importance of it. These are the rules that you have written for me to believe in. Okay, these are the parameters, cool. And then you just either destroy them like the fucking wind came by and was like, oh, I guess it wasn't that important. I guess it wasn't that strong. Okay.
Yeah. All we talk about is the darksaber, how it impacts. What is Din going to figure it out? Oh, he gave it to her. Amazing. What a loophole. That was kind of crazy. It's broken. It's gone. Okay. All right. So all of that shit was just useless.
Yeah.
You're just fucking blowing time. You're wasting time.
It really felt so useless to even introduce that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that cool little fight.
I think the fight between and him just breaking it like that, I get what happened. I thought it was a little anticlimactic. I don't think the idea of it was bad and the way he got rid of it. It was just sort of like, oh, that was kind of over quickly. Like,
You go, there goes that allegedly that they keep trying to convince me important weapon.
And that's okay.
That means a lot to many people.
But I'm okay if it got destroyed or got lost or got fell with him into the fire, something.
But
like, it just seemed a little kind of
anticlimactic.
That would have been much better if it fell with him into the fire.
Yeah.
Maybe look. Have her stab him and then he falls backwards.
Still stuck in him.
Come on, give me something more like
literally anything but what they did would have been
that's
great.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why I'm written like fucking 10-year-olds.
I'm not so upset about the Din Djarin part of it, the fact that he didn't really get to use it more. Would I have liked to have seen that? Yeah, but it wasn't really his journey with it because it was never really his. It was his because he wanted it from Moff Gideon, but he never wanted it. He never really cared to have it, nor did he care what it symbolized.
Yeah. Although it does open up for a possibility for something to happen, I'm not too pissed, but I am a little. I'm kind of pissed. I'm actually kind of pissed that nothing happened with that. I'm a little pissed. I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying not to be pissed, but I'm like, that would have been so bad. That would have been so cool.
I'm only upset that they gave it to him at all. Not that he didn't find anything to do with it. Like, it's not really him, right? He's not. He never wanted to rule Mandalore. He couldn't care less. So he's got this saber. He doesn't know how to use it. He doesn't want to know how to use it, really. You know what I mean? He's got his blasters. He's got his weapons like that. That's just what he does.
But wouldn't it have been better?
Like a sword too.
Hear me out for a second. Wouldn't it have been better if they gave it to him?
He didn't keep the spear.
All right. Yeah, but listen, if they had given it to him, he initially struggled using it, and then he took some time, some introspection, try to use it, try to get better at it, realized.
He did. No, he wasn't good at it. He still wasn't good at it.
Listen. He realized at some point, you know what? This isn't me, right? It's not me. It doesn't feel like me. It doesn't feel right. I don't want this. And then let him give it away or do something with it. Have him do some growth. He did zero growth this season. Nothing. He learned nothing. He did nothing. He got his ass kicked about 50 times, and then Bo-Katan saved him a bunch of those times, and then somebody else saved him some other time. Like he had at the very last episode, he did some great fighting. Other than that, he fucking flew around, him and his little puppet, and then he gave the sword away, and he gave the show away to Bo-Katan.
No.
That's the real symbolism.
That sums it up pretty much.
Yeah. The same thing.
The thing I can see what you're saying, Bruno, about wanting him to like show growth with him and the sword, but in all seriousness, I'm with Marco. They should have never fucking given it to him because that little part that you're saying, that little part that you said,
show some growth. But you're right. They should not have done it, but they did.
It's a waste.
So now do something with it, right?
No, because that would be
gun thing.
No, you can't do something with it because then that means that you have to do something in every other fucking episode, and that's way too much work.
The only thing you really do
We
with
can't
it
handle
is
that
like,
type
okay,
of
I have
storytelling.
this.
No.
If he's not just trying to give it away, then it's like I have to do something with this. And
Instead of giving me a
Mandalore?
52-minute episode of a fucking doctor that just dies, give me 5 minutes
He's
in
not
that
dead.
episode. Give me 3 minutes
He's
of
not
that.
dead, he's
Whatever.
just fried.
Give me 3 minutes in that episode
You see
of
why.
Din trying to wield the sword, and then
Trying to work with it,
Then
right?
wait 3 more episodes and have him like pull it out and be like, bonk.
Oh,
this
by
is
the
really
way-
fucking heavy. You know, show me something where
not like-
Din's like, you know what? Fuck this sword.
Just
This
look
thing's not
lighter.
working for me.
I mean, nothing. Listen, on average, in every fucking episode, there's 7 minutes of credits.
Yeah.
How about you take 3 of those 7 fucking minutes?
Nah, everybody needs their creds.
I mean,
Yeah.
just, you gotta have credits, but like, so give me some more fucking story, right?
Okay,
Right.
how
There's no
about this?
limitation. You're not trying to fit it in the 6 o'clock news hour.
Yeah.
Like,
You
got
control the time.
You
You
can do whatever
control
want.
the time.
Yeah.
Make it 32, 42,
Yeah,
50.
We're not on like, you know, like
It's streaming. You can go as much time as you want.
That's
You
right.
Yeah.
can make it an hour and 15 minutes if
outta
you want
here.
to. It's streaming. The Boys managed to do it on Amazon every fucking episode.
Wow, were you on
every
every
episode was
60
filled
minutes.
to the brim with
You
stuff.
know,
60 minutes.
You know what I thought was
Oh,
kind of
that
cool
one
too?
was really filled to the brim.
And then it
yes.
What we're
exploded.
talking about.
I would say so.
From the
Way to
inside
open
out.
up inside. What I found the fight scene at the
Awesome.
end,
Don't
right?
bring that
When
up.
they slide,
episode.
when they slid on their knees, right?
Yeah.
Did you catch Grogu did it too? Like he slid and like pushed the thing away. I was like, that's fucking stupid.
Oh,
I hate all of you.
I don't remember the slide, but I saw him push the shit.
Well, yeah, he throws like a little slide, and then like Din Djarin, he comes up with the slide and shoots him, and then she comes in with the slide with the because with like the fire's coming, so she comes up with the slide and she puts up her little circle shield.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking
That's like
about.
3 inches a day.
I'm like, how
Yeah,
is that
I was
like
like,
fucking
what the
shield
fuck?
protecting anything other than your watch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Okay,
that's not
I
good
think
shit.
the face of my fucking iWatch is bigger than that thing.
Well, that shield never did anything.
I
right?
never
Well, the
understood
thing
that.
is,
When
I
pause
feel like they
reflection.
knew that was going to do nothing, but
It's only
like
good for deflection.
Like, yeah, but the thing is, like, what else are you going to do? You know, in that situation, a huge
Size of a
explosion is
fucking
coming.
frisbee.
What do you do?
I mean, in sword fighting,
None
you
of them
can
have
do,
their
you can do
stuff.
sword. That's essentially a buckler. So it's a
Right,
sword and
yeah.
buckler, and you can be very, very effective with that if you've got like a
That's
long
deflection.
sword or a
Yeah.
spear in the other hand.
I'm sorry, what was that?
So you can be very effective with that.
Against what?
No, when you've got something else in your hand,
Okay.
like a long sword or a
Yeah. And what are you blocking?
oh, you block a ton of shit. No joke.
Are you blocking fucking bullets?
well, no, it's a
I mean,
sword
no,
fight.
no,
Okay,
it's not a
so
sword,
that's- so
sword
that's
fight.
what
But
I'm
when she was
saying.
fighting like the Praetorian Guards,
Yeah, they would
anybody
go
else
when
with
they
a-
go melee. They pulled out the shields.
But when Paz Vizsla was getting his ass kicked, he never used it once. He pulled it out and then never like tried to block with it.
Yeah.
At
Yeah, he
all.
just got
I was
his
like,
ass handed
what
to him,
happened? You
like,
had a shield right
25
there. Why didn't you just, just move your hand a little bit more, and you might have blocked that shit. So I was like, fuck.
So it's
Just do this, but with your hand, right? Just
So is,
Move it around.
is Moff Gideon dead?
No, no body.
yeah. No, look.
No body, no crap.
And the
I
writing's
think he-
dog shit, so
I think-
yeah, he's still alive.
I think he is dead because they're not doing anything at all that's any sneaky. Not one time in this 3 seasons have they done a sneaky piece of shit. Nothing. Not once.
No, they just don't do things
they
well.
Give you I've learned that they give you exactly what they give you, and that you take it exactly as it comes in. There's no reading into
the spy
anything
thing
that
really
happens.
shows
I
that
fucking
home.
went into the end going, okay, am I gonna get like an extra credit scene? Oh no, it's just credits in Japanese. Oh, all right, thanks. I really appreciate it.
Nice,
I was like,
nice.
what?
What's going on here? And that's what I was
Is
like,
that new?
all right, and then the credits are over, and then it just shows me the Andor back screen, like, hey, watch Andor. I'm like, but I already watched that. Not that I'm getting nothing. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. There's no end credits. There's
No,
no
like,
cutscene.
yeah, there
No
was,
after credit, yeah.
I will say this, right? And I thought that it was pretty cool. The quote unquote force field that Grogu puts up.
That was pretty.
That was cool.
That was
man.
cool, and it was also visually awesome.
Again,
That looked
back
really
to the
nice.
fucking visuals.
It was
Save all his
good.
energy for that.
Visuals were amazing.
Talk to your
Visuals were
people. The visuals in this show, I
to your peeps.
really
They
talk to
are
your peeps.
awesome.
The
Visuals
visuals were
were very
awesome.
good.
The fight
Yeah, he
scenes.
mustered all of his
this
force
year,
energy for that.
This year, I feel like
That's
the
what
fight
I'm
scenes
using
were like fucking by far the best visual fight scenes
They were
I've
pretty good.
seen.
I would
Like,
agree.
with the
Absolutely.
spaceships, the hand-to-hand
Yeah,
combat
whoever
in
the
this
stunt
one.
coordinator was for the hand-to-hand combat shit was
Really good.
It was
Yeah.
so,
It was
so
unreal.
good.
Oh my god.
What if they hired somebody new, or if it's the same person?
Well, they have two different bodies that play him.
No, whoever the stunt coordinator was.
Yeah.
Who
Right.
created the fight scenes, who coordinated those.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
Fucking
fucking
badass.
good.
The fight scenes were amazing, but with regards to like the space battle scenes, what happened to the TIE fighters that went up to attack the
Oh yeah,
white
they
cruiser?
kind of.
They
Oh
just
my god, you're
disappeared.
right.
They went up
Never
and
see
then
them.
I was
and then
wondering where they went.
They
They're
got
just
lost.
gone.
They got lost.
The writers were like, yeah, they're.
I thought
They never came back.
You know what? Nobody cares. We're not even
Yeah.
gonna address it, right?
Yeah.
So that was
Because they're fucking 10 years old.
right. So
I
I
thought they
saw
were gonna
that.
attack the
No,
people
I
in
don't know.
those jetpacks
Fucking
and fuck
come
them
back.
up.
They didn't.
Or a dogfight or something.
Yes.
What
when
happened
they
was
got out
this-
of the plane with the jetpacks, I was like, oh, they're all fucking fodder. They're gonna.
Yeah, exactly. And then I was like, oh wait.
They went right
just
past
kidding.
those ships. Those ships came up, and I was like, oh, okay. A couple of them got destroyed.
I mean,
Like
a
you said,
couple.
Where the fuck did the rest of them
There
go?
were like 20, weren't there?
They were like, hey, you know what? Fuck it, let's just keep going.
Let's just say they drove her away.
Send it.
So
like,
I sense defeat imminent. I'm gonna just keep
I'm just gonna
going.
take off.
Wanna go?
So I will say this though, when those ships when they dropped, when the bombers and the fighters dropped and went out,
Very
that was
cool.
a really cool
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah.
You know, again, the
Very
visuals
bat-like.
in this fucking phenomenal.
Very good.
And that's like that's like for me on this season. That was a highlight for me. Like it was all
Yeah.
like the crazy
The visuals and the stunts.
like unfucking believable.
Yeah.
Story sucked.
Well, the writing was horrible.
Oh, the
Yeah,
right.
it was
I'm
fucking
sorry. No,
terrible.
sorry. It's the right. Again, it's halfway through this season. 8 episodes. We do this all the time. We even touched on it at the beginning of this.
But you know, we make excuses for them, and we got to stop.
I'm all
wait for
set with making
Ahsoka.
excuses.
Can't wait for 4 good episodes of Ahsoka.
I cannot. I will.
You know, here's another thing I thought was really fucking stupid. Remember when they walked down into that cavern and there's all the greenery and
Yep.
these are all the
Right.
original
Yeah,
plants
yeah.
from the
Yep.
planet. Wait a minute. They nuked the planet so bad that it turned to fucking glass. You know what it takes to turn fucking rock to glass?
That's some heavy heat.
A shit ton.
Fuck ton of fucking energy, right?
Yeah.
So you're telling me these plants survived in this little cavern just
That's
under the
bullshit.
Oh, no,
surface?
they took them from the surface and because
Yeah.
Bruno,
Because they
tells
were
you-
dormant.
Yeah.
Bruno,
Duh.
Yeah.
they were doing, and all they needed was a space to grow.
Shut the fuck up.
But
Please
the
shut
plant-
the fuck up. I beg of you.
The planet is a goddamn ball of glass, and you're telling me these plants survived? All right, okay,
The nuke
all
to
right,
end all nuke.
all right.
You win.
Just needed
Okay,
space to grow.
I'm flipping this goddamn table.
No, that was
Flip
something
it
that
fucking
absolutely
forward,
pissed
forget
me
it.
off. Cause like
I was
I'm-
like, what?
when it comes to like radiation and shit like that, like nukes and shit, I'm so like aware
she's
of
dialed
the
in.
destruction
Mila's
that I'm like, what the fuck? What do you mean? What do you mean there's plants here?
Hey Mila, remember at the beginning of this episode you
No.
said that you liked it?
No.
No.
What do you mean?
That was 52 minutes ago. Should have remembered that.
Alright,
We're
no.
at the 50-minute mark.
No,
right?
you're goofy. You're goofy if this was good. Now you're silly.
Man.
Man, this shit was
so wait a
bad.
minute.
There was no character development. You
Wow.
never
Dude,
cared.
whack as hell.
You never cared at all about most of the characters. Like Axe, went all up and he was gonna sacrifice. Nobody I was like, I don't care. I don't
Yeah.
care about this
Dude,
guy.
it's
And
so
here's the
funny.
thing. He went up to sacrifice himself. That motherfucker made it though.
Yeah, which is fine.
I'm not mad
But,
at that because I was like,
not
that'd be
once was I like,
useless.
oh,
Listen.
don't kill this guy. Like
You know who I was like that with?
couldn't care less.
Fucking Paz Vizsla.
Yeah,
I was like that with him.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you guys ever see Sons of Anarchy?
No.
No? Amazing show. If anybody's listening, if you've watched it, when they killed off Paz Vizsla, it reminded me of when they killed Opie in Sons of Anarchy. If anybody is listening to this that has watched that, please back me up on this.
I'm sure there's a
know,
bunch of
fuck
people that are
Opie.
kind of pissed off.
What? No, no, man. That was
I
a
have no idea who that is.
yeah. Sons of Anarchy, great show. Fucking wow.
Is Mayberry? Who the fuck's Opie?
Oh no, Sons of Anarchy on FX. It was about a motorcycle gang and.
I know what it's about.
Okay, well, Opie was he was Jax's main guy.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no, it was
Damn.
he gets killed in jail.
Oh, that's
No, it's like he was like the sacrificial lamb. Like they had to give somebody up in order for things to happen or not happen. They're like, all right, fine. In order for us to not like kill everybody in your gang, you got to give somebody up from your gang. And Opie was a sacrificial lamb, and Jax didn't know about it, and they were locked up together. Jax was like, no, and it was fucked up. But that's the feeling that I had when they killed
What show
Taz.
are you on? Stay on target here.
It was a good death. Pop had a good death though.
You saying that
it was like
now?
the warrior's death, right? He was like, I'm going in.
That's right. It was a warrior's death. He went to Valhalla.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But then his son, they baptized his son into the thing at the end of the. And then they never mentioned like, sorry, your dad died. Like,
you know why?
Aren't you gonna fucking?
No, you know why? This is the way.
Yeah.
This is the way.
Yeah.
And there it is.
And then when
God damn.
Din adopted Grogu, why
Let's
was
talk
he
about
Din
this.
Grogu? Why wasn't he Grogu Jaren?
I just think that they do names differently.
So
You know,
is Din
maybe
is
it's
Din a
like-
title, or is that his first name? What
Maybe
son
it's
of?
I think
like
it's surname. Yeah. It's like
yeah. I would assume
not from
yeah.
Mandalore. So it could very
Well, here's
be
so here's
where
so okay.
from that's
So wait,
the way
wait.
they
Now here's
named
the
him.
thing that I had this discussion the other day with somebody at work. It was like, no, that's not true. I'm like, yeah, it is. Okay. The people that the armorers, the people that are on the fucking armor side, the Children of the Watch, they don't believe in like you have to be from Mandalore to become a Mandalorian.
They don't.
Yeah,
They don't.
as long as you just walk the
You just have
way.
to walk the way.
It's just you have to walk the way. It's so
say
that
the
was
fucking
that was a
poem.
big part of the Civil War, the Mandalorian Civil War.
Yeah.
Okay, you got the people that were in the masks.
Well, you had like 10 different factions. They were all fighting each other.
Right, but the whole, but basically, it's to make it in a nice little package. It was old school versus new school.
Sure.
New school was like, yeah, listen,
Testament, New Testament.
we're not gonna
Yeah.
fucking do all that cult shit. Like, you guys are a bunch of fucking weirdos. They're like, no, you have to walk the way. You have to wear your mask all the time. They're like, no, we don't. We're not gonna do that shit.
That sounds
We're going to follow this sword bearer.
yeah, yeah, fucking sword.
That sounds.
We don't have to wear your stupid mask.
Right.
We'll just
Yeah,
go
but
into this fucking
so they go in.
circus.
So they go in.
These
They
things are
fucking
hot.
fight. They kick the shit out of the old fucking people, the old ways, and that's why they end up in those like in different sects and hiding and shit like that.
I mean, they're all fucked up in their own way.
Yeah. I mean, again, they followed my man Darth Maul. I'd follow him. Fuck yeah. Darth Maul was awesome.
Yeah, his death was not what it could have been.
Which one?
Darth Maul. No, when he got cut in half. When he got cut in half.
Okay,
but-
that one sucked.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
bothered me.
Isn't he still around at this point?
No. Actually, Obi-Wan
gone.
does kill him.
He's gone.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he kills him in the desert.
That's right. I
Yeah.
just watched that. That's right.
Yeah.
I just watched that.
Because we had talked about
One day
that.
I just
Watch
watched
this
like
show.
a reel on that. Yes.
Yeah.
One day.
That's right.
No, it's awesome.
Yeah, I watched the first episode
so
of
now-
Rebels, and I was like, I'm not watching this.
Rebels for me took
It
a
was
while to like.
rough.
to-
That first episode is a
but
rough to get
as
through.
you get through, you're like, oh, okay. You see.
It's those slow burns that
It's
make
a
me
slow-
lose
It is
interest.
a slow burn,
It's
but
the
it's-
slow
so- but
burns
here's-
that make me lose interest so fast.
But
I'm
here's
like,
the thing,
I can't
though.
watch this shit.
For the new Ahsoka series, you're gonna need to. It ties in a lot off of the back end.
I'm
as
gonna
well.
I'm gonna have to do my
but
homework.
Filoni's doing the
Yes,
Ahsoka, right?
yes.
So
Yes.
here's my problem. Rebels is slow and basic writing. It is basic, okay?
I feel
I'm
you.
not saying it's not a bad story.
No,
but it's basic,
I got that.
It's not complex. And this whole season, I feel like we should, if I had seen Rebels sooner, I probably would have guessed it. But Filoni was a big part of this series, this season.
Yep.
And he brought all the Rebels into the season. Think about it. He introduced Bo-Katan essentially more so now. He brought the Darksaber in. He brought like all of that canon, right? Which is fine. I got no problem with it. But he also wrote a lot of Rebels. Or oversaw the writing,
Yeah.
and that was very basic. There was no the whole time we're like, what's the twist here? There were no twists. There are no twists. There were no twists in this episode. There were no twists in this season. There are no twists.
But on the higher end of that, and I get what
think
you're
that's- I
saying,
think
and
that's
I'm kind of
boring.
worried about that too.
Yeah.
But the Ahsoka stuff, he created Ahsoka.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
think
like
it's gonna
that's his.
be
I think it's gonna be
basic shit.
But the Ahsoka stuff was good. Like
Yeah.
every time that Ahsoka was Ahsoka in Clone Wars, like her story arc
Yeah.
was fucking really good in Clone Wars.
Yeah.
She's the
When
reason. She's the reason Anakin never made master. He couldn't make it. He wasn't a master of the Jedi Council.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and then when they introduce her in Rebels, like her little story arc in there was good. So that you see her like she's going after General Thrawn. So I feel that I get it. You would probably. I'm setting the bar like really low for Ahsoka.
Here's what I mean by that is when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. And what I mean by that is he's already written Rebels. He wrote season 3.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And
It's
so I'm not going to expect that it's going to be any different, right?
Fair enough.
I would love to be surprised, but he's shown me
Well, at this
what
point,
kind of
that's-
shows he
That's
writes.
kind of the best way to go into a lot of this stuff.
Well, I
Go
mean,
with like super low expectations.
everybody went into this thinking, because Because look,
well, season 1 and 2, especially 1 was super high bar, and then like
no, it wasn't. No. They
Mandalorian.
They totally formulated that, and it was fine because it's the first season.
It was the first season. We hadn't seen anything like this.
So my take on the writing, the first season was, let's introduce this guy. Let's see if it gets traction. Let's see if people like it. People loved it. They chose the right actor. They added Grogu. Like everybody was, all the elements were there. They have the marketability. They got a whole thing they can sell. Season 1 was a big hit, and it was basic, right? It was episodic, the like little side quests every episode, and then at the end of the day, whatever. So they had like one overarching quest, and then every episode was a little bit of a side quest. Fine, that's the first season. Season 2 cashed in on that a little bit, and they were like, all right, we know this kind of works. Maybe we can grow this. Let's see what we can do. Season 2 went really well. They grew it a little bit, but it was basic. Season 3, they continued with the basic bullshit, and people were expecting it to get better, and it didn't, and that's why I'm disappointed. I wanted more. I liked it. It was fine, right? The whole thing. It was a popcorn watch. I was hoping for more than that. I was hoping for more because I really like this character. He's really he's likable, and Grogu's kind of cute, and the whole cast is well done, but they could have done so much more. And it's like being let down because I'm Italian and the Italians didn't make it in the fucking World Cup, right? Because I'm like, God fucking damn it, you're one of the best teams in the world. You just won the European Cup. You didn't make the World Cup?
You didn't qualify?
You didn't fucking qualify. So when you expect more and it doesn't happen, you get more upset about it. If I had no expectations, I'd be like, it's pretty good. It was fun.
So I'm glad that you did the whole season by season because I was thinking about that. Season 1 was fucking phenomenal. I never heard one person say, oh, I didn't like this episode. Or I thought this episode was a filler. Every episode, people were like, this shit was fire.
Because you got no expectations, right. And it was
And just
good.
Like you said, the second season, it was like a 50-50. It was more like 80-20 because it was still really good stuff. We were waiting for it. And then we got the end credits. We got Book of fucking Boba Fett. We were like, holy shit!
Right.
Yep.
Right.
And then the downfall.
and now, here's what it is. They set you up for something even better, right? They set you up like, hey, this is going to get really cool. We're going to bring all the other cool people in there.
Yeah, they badass him, and the thing was shooting Bib Fortuna. I'm like, I fucking taken over now, and that was as bad as it got. That was as bad as he got.
God, that was such a bad show.
Big wuss right after that, immediately after that.
I recently had to explain to another person why it was bad.
That's my problem.
And I got them on my side.
So we were really let down, and I think that makes it worse. Yeah. If this was season 1 of a show, I'd be like, it was okay.
It was all right.
They missed a few things here and there, but you know what? It's pretty good.
Again,
should be better next season.
They've already set the rules up for me, so they've already set up the rules. They've already set up the parameters. They set everything up for me.
Yeah.
Well, what the fuck, dude?
What's with the Full House ending? And he's sitting in a fucking chair that you can buy on Wayfair, by the way.
I don't.
Somebody pointed it out.
So again,
it's a fucking chair you can buy. Like,
all right.
Oh no, that's fine.
It
was fine. It was a fine way to end it.
So we've gone through this whole. So we went through this whole episode.
Fucking Warner Brothers little circle that closes.
Yeah.
Oh no, the circle. I was like, what the fuck
so
was
we just
that?
went through this whole episode.
That was a kick of the balls.
Tunes,
oh yeah.
We got to the end. Thank you. So you see.
That's all, folks.
You see the armor handing the
Drops
torch to Bo-Katan. I'm like, okay, I saw the symbolism there. I liked that. It was passing the torch to light the Great Forge. I was like, that's pretty cool. That shows the unity,
Great
right?
Forge was cool.
That was wicked awesome. But now we see the unity of the old and the new. We're like, all right, cool. Honestly, I don't need to see a Bo-Katan series now because what are you gonna tell me?
Yeah. It could be the story of how they unite the rest of them. I don't know.
To do what?
There's no motivation for
but
me to watch it.
But they didn't make me care.
You didn't.
I still really care.
At some point, it all has to tie in.
To what?
Well, we already tied in. They're making a movie which takes
oh shit! I forgot about that.
Oh no! And with Ahsoka and Din, and everything has to come back together because
I thought they were going to say
we get to a Force Awakens, and all these people are nowhere to be found.
They don't talk about them at all.
There's nothing, they never come in, they never did. Grogu's not there, nothing. So at some point you have to deal with it, or just say like, yeah, well, they were there, but they weren't ever there.
They were off planet somewhere, they were fucking...
some shit else, you know what I mean?
So here's the thing.
We have to know what happened to them, because now you know these characters existed. Where the fuck were they?
So now you got the Mandalorian.
The universe is a big place.
But remember, they explained that in going to Marvel with Captain Marvel. Like, all this shit's happening, and she could just easily go down and fuck everybody up.
Yeah.
And we're good.
Yeah.
They had to explain it. Like, she's like, yeah, it's not the only planet I deal with.
Right.
I'm like, across the galaxy, do you mind? I have other shit to deal with. Take care of it.
Do you mind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know,
They
Chief.
had
This
to
guy just
explain
snapped
that.
half the
was
fucking
busy.
universe.
Yeah, they had to explain it because everyone's like, where was she? She could have fucked up everybody up and everybody would have been fine.
So, so now we have the end of the episode, right? And now they're tying all these things up. Okay, the Mandalorians are all fucking happy. They're passing of the torch. Dun, da, da, they're all good, right? You got fucking Din Djarin and Din Grogu, whatever the fuck, hanging out on the fucking little prairie house. Now, here's my question.
Little dress runs down.
So, you have Din Djarin, which is
Little Din on the prairie.
little Din on the prairie.
Grogu in a dress runs down. Little dress runs to the flowers.
Fucking Grogu puppet walking.
See, this is the
Puppet
time I
walking
wish it was
down.
a video podcast.
I know, right? So you got Din Djarin. Din Djarin is what? He's a Mandalorian, right?
Yeah.
He ain't no
The
fucking Jedi.
Right.
What's Grogu?
A Jedi.
I mean,
Sort of.
He's a force user.
He was a force
He's not
user.
a
Force
Jedi, he's a
user.
force
So
user.
now he's
Yeah.
a force user, which basically he can kind of like push things when he feels like it. He can make like frogs float. He can like grab things. If you don't have, now I may be mistaken, but if you have a force user that is not exercising his force in the proper elements, like having someone to actually train him and go, this is how we do it, you fucking lose it. It's one of those use it or lose it, or get better or lose it, right?
I don't know.
No, not necessarily.
Actually,
You don't
you,
lose it.
actually,
Wait a minute.
Larry is right.
Wait,
Because
no.
remember when in fucking the Obi-Wan series,
Yeah.
He shuts
he
it
was
off.
like, I haven't been using it in 20 years.
No,
I'm a little rusty.
he actively shut it off. Like, he actively went away from it.
Right.
Yeah, but like-
that was
He's
hold on.
not
Okay,
gonna
wait a minute.
Supports-
Wait.
It supports what Larry said
Wait
when
a
he
minute.
says use it or
He's a
lose it.
Jedi master, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a fucking Grogu who's a baby, basically, who hasn't been taught very much. He hasn't been able to harness all that goodness and grow with it. This is the reason why when they feel like the Force kid people, they take them at a very, very young age because it takes time to create, to grow this sense of Force and to know how to really use it.
That's the point. To know how to harness it.
So,
and
okay,
use it. You
right.
always have it. You
Right.
just know how to use it.
Okay, so
Yeah, you
hey,
gotta learn how to really become
Hone
powerful.
it. Yeah. You
Right.
have to hone it.
So, okay.
The midi-chlorians are in him.
Yep.
He
yep.
can use it every time he wants.
Right, but he really needs to learn how to harness it,
He needs to
right?
get better at it.
So, okay, who the fuck is going to be there to show him how to get better at it?
Maybe nobody.
Nobody.
He doesn't want to. He stepped away from it.
Okay.
He walked away from
He's
now-
gonna be a
They never-
Mandalorian.
Yes,
But
yes,
he
you're
never
going with
said
me,
it.
you're going with me.
But he could always be floating frogs around because he could do that anytime
No,
he wants.
yeah, but if you just fuck, you're right.
Larry, imagine this.
He's not getting any better.
But what if he
Imagine
gets
he'll
better
do
with
small
more filler
frogs.
So okay,
Graduate
so
big
right,
toes.
so now what the fuck is he? So now what is the catalyst of building Grogu now? So who
Right
gives a
here,
fuck?
I'll show you.
becomes
Imagine
Mandalorian.
they're walking.
Be a bounty
Imagine Din and Grogu are walking through Coruscant.
Yeah.
And there's a frog. In a second, Grogu could crush him. He could crush
Can he,
him.
or does he just make him
Smack
float?
him against the big rock.
Or he could float him up and then smash him down really
Remember that
fast.
big rock.
It'd be funny if it becomes like
Wait,
a
you see what I'm
Sith
saying?
or
He'll
Those
kind of
are
be a
like-
one-trick pony just because he's really going to be good at frogs. But I mean, whatever.
But again,
I'm
so
not
like this
judging.
whole fucking series was him like the conflict of choosing one side or the other, that I understood.
That was like the whole
Yeah.
point of season
They
2.
touched on it one time and never went
Never
back.
again. You never go back to it. But yet, this whole fucking series. Okay, if you walked away from the Jedi saying, "Hey, you know what? I'm just gonna roll with my fucking my foster
Are
father."
you
He had
suggesting
Skywalker
there should
summer
have been
camp.
some character development or character growth here?
Whatever the fuck.
That's too much. No, not possible.
No,
We'll stick with frogs for now.
No.
No,
We know have character growth.
development.
That's too
Yeah,
hard. We
no.
can't do that.
No, we know growth.
you
We
suck,
only
Boba
have when we
Fett.
want to
No.
30 minutes in an
So, but
episode.
We know right. We know right.
But that's how I felt at the
No.
end. I'm like, all right, so
No.
now they're just hanging out in the fucking house. He knows how to fucking float frogs. Like his
You saw
his
Boba
force.
Fett. No character.
Yeah, no character
We don't
development.
do that.
Like his
We
force
don't
is
do that
never
here.
going to grow from what it is now, and it's going to get to a
Well,
point that.
Not necessarily.
Well, here's the thing. We know
I
that
feel
it's
like-
never. Look,
He's
I
at
feel
the
like
house
we're
on the prairie,
neglecting
but he
something.
Can't.
I feel like we're neglecting the fact that they're both going to be bounty hunting together. He's now an apprentice. He's going to be able to probably exercise his, force using abilities
Or run into
on the
other
field,
Force
I
users.
think.
So-
or run into others.
Run
I'm like, it's
into
not like we're going to sit in
Ahsoka
this
again.
house for the rest of time.
Yeah, no,
Because
now
they're
we have
still bounty hunters,
Right.
and now he's an apprentice.
But now we're going to have Saturday morning cartoons where every fucking Saturday he's going to get a new bounty.
Yeah, but imagine.
Honestly, that's better than whatever the fuck
thought
we're
it
doing
is-
now.
it is better than
I'd actually rather they just give up and do
Yeah.
filler episodes now. I'm like,
I
fuck.
do think the episodic
Just
ones were
give
better
up.
because like
Bam,
reading.
bam.
They were.
Yeah.
They were
We
better.
weren't-
I would
They
give
should
up.
give
We
up.
weren't
They
trying
should
to like
just
read
do this.
into it and make
Yeah.
it more complicated. Keep it
Yeah,
basic.
I'm
We get it
totally
now.
down with the bounty
We
of the
get it.
week.
I'm like, you know
One
what?
week they're
I
just
am
cleaning up a spill.
100%.
1 week they're just cleaning up a giant spill.
I
Bounty
mean,
of the week.
I would
kind of,
rather
that's
that.
kind of how he played it off. He was like,
Grogu super
listen,
absorbent.
you can't
Use
go.
him to clean shit up.
Oh, shit.
You know what I'm saying?
But
But
why
that'd be
was
awesome. He just puts a big pool together.
they just fought.
He's bounty.
But look, Din and Grogu just fought Praetorian Guards,
Yeah.
Moff Gideon,
Yeah.
and all of the fucking Beskar, stormtroopers.
Yep.
Which is why
Now he's
still
like,
alive.
I got to be really selective about what bounties I take because I don't want them to be in danger.
You know,
are you
cut this guy.
Are you kidding me? You just went through like some of the most dangerous shit.
Yeah.
What are you worried about? What are you fucking worried about? So I
Well,
thought
now it's official that he's
I thought
a
that
son.
was fucking stupid, fucking dumb. And then like here's the other thing. Going forward 5-10 years, we know we never hear from these guys in any of the movies and any of the other shit. So maybe they don't develop into powerful Jedi and other
No,
bullshit.
they're just
So
bounty hunting.
it
They're
could
just
just
bounty
be he
hunting.
becomes
They're just kicking around the universe.
Lazy fucking
there's
writing.
3 more
Oh.
movies. We never hear anything about any other bounty hunters.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they're just
So-
another nameless bounty hunter that's kicking around the galaxy and doing shit.
Yeah. Whatever the
Never hear about
fuck.
them, you know what I mean?
Maybe they
hard
should just go
part-
full
So that's
send
why they
into
don't
that,
have
though.
to do that. They don't have
The
to
hard
become
part
powerful.
for me is more Grogu than Din. Like not hearing from him because the rest of the series centers around the Jedi.
Because
and
for
the new
3
Jedi Orders.
seasons he's done shit.
Well, no, because with the new movies is Rey and the new Jedi and the new Jedi Order and
Right.
what she's gonna
There's
build.
new shit. Where the fuck is
The
Grogu?
movie that she's gonna be in that takes place 15 years after, where she's starting to rebuild the Jedi Order.
You could throw Grogu
I wonder.
in there.
Yeah. I think
Anything
honestly,
that
But where the
surface-
fuck
I feel
has
like
he been?
I feel like it's possible because
been in the Outer Rim.
he's grown up just keeping to himself.
Yeah. Oh,
like
yeah.
it's not like he's putting his name out there
remember,
necessarily.
Maybe
Hell,
he'll be speaking by then.
right?
That'd
And
be
even
cool.
like Din Djarin, no one knew his fucking name.
But
he was
remember-
just the Mandalorian. The Mandalorian. He's a Mandalorian. He's one of the Mandalorian people.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
So going back to what you said about Obi-Wan, he didn't forget how to use the Force.
Remember, he was rusty though.
He was rusty because
Okay,
he didn't
but
use it. He was rusty, but he still had it.
No,
Remember, he
I didn't say
suppressed
he-
it.
I didn't say he lost it.
suppressed it within himself. One of the main reasons, the same reason that Yoda went to Dagobah, was so that they couldn't find him.
Yes, I understand.
Right.
But wait right there.
He's using it.
No, wait,
he's
stop.
suppressing it.
Suppressed or no suppressed. He didn't use it,
Yeah.
and he got rusty.
A little rusty.
So that's all Larry's saying.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I
So,
understand.
and here's
And
the
it's
guy.
possible.
he doesn't
Here's the
have
guy.
any way to help him develop
And
anything.
he was a master.
So what you're saying
Jedi.
is, so basically, Grogu will stay the same as he is right now.
Yeah.
He's just using what he has.
Yeah.
And that's it.
He'll
And
never
that's
get
fucking
better.
weak
He won't get-
sauce.
of course it is.
So
'Cause he-
fuck
think
him
it's
in
a
his
combination.
face.
You know what? He runs into frogs. They are dead in the
They're-
water.
I
They're
think
really
we're
pushy.
thinking way too like one or the other. I feel like he's eventually going to improve. He's just probably
But
not
how?
going to
He gets somebody to train him.
but he's probably at this rate never going to get to like Yoda level.
No.
I don't
you
even
know?
want Yoda level.
He will
But
get
that's
no
the thing.
better
But
without
he's
anybody
going to
training him.
get better.
No,
No,
it doesn't
how?
work that way. You only get
trains
better if
him?
somebody trains him to use his powers. That's why
It-
that's how it
that's-
works. Otherwise, you don't get any better. You have the power, so you don't know. Really, you're a Force user. Like Anakin didn't realize it until he was trained. Like, oh yeah, you have midichlorians, and we're going to train you to use your powers, and then he got better. And he would have lived his whole life essentially not really knowing what he could do until Qui-Gon found him. And he could.
And then he may have-
he
I
had the
mean-
Force power in him. That's why he could like pod race because he could kind of see the future.
Yeah, because they said
He
that
could
no
see-
humans could pod. It's just his reflexes were phenomenal because
Because you can
that's
see
why
the
they
future,
said
essentially.
humans couldn't do that because their reflexes weren't that quick. So no human ever did the
He could
podcast.
see what was
not
happening
the
before it
podcast,
happened.
pod races. So
Right.
yeah, so he could just so that's what made
So
him good. And
Grogu
that's
will
like-
stay the same until somebody trains him to be better. To
he's either going to be the
overpower.
same, and then it's going to get to a point that and so this is my point. It's like it might get to a point that he's like, yeah, this is getting lame.
Well, I mean, just
Maybe
playing
more-
with frogs and rocks, yeah, but it's a party trick.
It's a good party trick.
Fool your friends, fun at parties. So
Yeah.
you know,
Push people over when they inconvenience him, but not that far.
Again, I
though.
just feel that they came to this end of the episode, and yeah, they have the Ahsoka stuff. They've got the movie, so maybe they kind of bring them all in, and maybe they finish off that with Grogu fucking going somewhere, and he ends up coming back in the new 3 movie. I don't know.
But the hard part too is
we should just
like
go back to Skywalker summer camp.
He's one of Yoda's species.
Right.
They're one of the most powerful Force using species
And they're the
in the whole
oldest.
galaxy.
It's gonna be around
tough
forever.
to see this creature
Unless he gets killed.
who could be very super powerful, not use it.
Well, that's why Luke was like, oh, you better make the right decision.
Yeah.
And he chose the other way, yeah.
Fun
Right.
fact, Yoda was never part of George Lucas's plan originally. Originally, Obi-Wan Kenobi wasn't going to die at the end of A New Hope. He was going to train Luke. But he was just kind of like, I got this old guy kicking around, not going to really do much. So they had to off him, and that's why he brought in Yoda to train him, but they could bring Ben in as a Force ghost and kind of like talk to him every once in a while. But then Lucas never had an idea of what species he was or where he came from.
Oh, yeah.
He never came up with it. He's just like, fuck it, who cares? He's a magical creature. Like, he never even bothered to come up with a backstory. And
All he said was, he's 900 years old.
yeah.
I mean, he suddenly
Works
made
for
them
me.
sister and brother after they kissed, right? He was like, "Oh, we're going to change this up a little bit."
Yeah,
brother sister. Like none of it was planned. He was like,
No.
"Let
Yeah,
you
that-
could
that's-
tell
me just
a lot of it was not planned.
write a fucking story, and then oh my god, this took off. I got to retcon.
Yeah, like
I gotta
Vader
retcon a bunch
Vader
of
wasn't
this.
supposed to be his father.
Right.
He was
Yeah.
supposed to be just the bad guy.
No.
He wasn't, so.
And he's like, wouldn't it be cool?
Good old
when he's
Georgie
like,
Lucas.
while it's filming, he's like,
He
you know what
really
we
stumbled
need?
into that. He really
sure did.
stumbled into
Yeah,
it.
really did.
Oh yeah.
So, all right, that was awesome.
That was that episode, I guess.
That was this area. So we talked about the season. Everybody got everything else they wanted to say. We know what this is. How are we gonna rate the season?
The season.
Yes.
Overall,
How many dark sabers?
3.5.
2.5.
I'm gonna go with 2 piles of shit.
Wow. Well, shit. I'm gonna go 3.5 dark sabers. I gotta say.
I'm giving it 3.5 because
the fight scenes and the visuals stuff like that. I wanted to do a 3, but the fight scenes and visuals
So,
really bumped
this
it up
is-
at
so
half for me.
I could bump it up to a 3
trust me,
because of that.
I was thinking about this all fucking day because I knew we were gonna do. So I was like, we're gonna have to come up with a rating. I go, I gotta be like I have to stand behind my rating. Why? My reason for the 3.5. First episode was definitely a 4 for me. Like it was fucking lights out.
Yeah.
There's one 4. I might have given one of the other episodes a 4. All the rest of the episodes were kind of like 3s. The visuals bring it up a little bit. Some of those 3s, the visuals brought it up, so that's why I got my average at the 3.5.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
See,
you have put a lot of thought behind that.
I rated it 2 steaming piles because I would have given it 0 if it wasn't for the visuals and special effects.
So you're giving it negatives, technically.
Yeah. And the reason I think it was terrible is because the writing was absolutely horrible.
I mean, it was all over the place.
There were plot holes. There were things they introduced and never panned out. There were stuff that never got used, never got explained. The Darksaber went over the Darksaber, went over like the Mythosaurus and all that other shit. None of it. Like it was literally written. They probably wrote the whole season in a weekend.
Yeah.
And and they were all drunk while they were doing like, let's just fucking let's just make a goddamn monster show up while they're on that skiff on the ice or on this, and it'll destroy it. And then suddenly they'll be where they need to be after they escape and get into the cave, and that happens to be the right cave to go down into where
Man, the living waters thing never panned out. I'm so pissed off. I was so pissed. I was like, you mean that really meant nothing?
Yeah, she poured it in. It did something cool. I was like, oh, this is going to be kind of neat. We can use something new here. No.
Dude, they can't do something. They can't do that.
How are we going to have him prove it? Just have him
It's
get some water
impossible.
and it'll do some lightning shit.
And you talked me down.
Do some Harry
And
Potter
then
shit.
it will never do that again.
This season gets a 3 from me.
And then we'll never
this season
touch
gets a
it.
3.
Yeah.
This season gets a 3 from me. The whole series as a whole gets a 3.5.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not doing
I'll get
series. I don't know. I would
should
have to
watch
put
it.
too much
Jesus
math into
Christ.
it.
No, did you just hear what they just said?
Yeah.
Yeah, they better stop talking before I go fucking even lower.
Let me tell you more. Let me tell you again about why it's a 2.
What happened? I gotta stand behind my thing.
No, you guys fucking brought up living water shit, and you and I was so on that living water shit, and
Dude,
you're right.
I was
they
so
pissed me off
pissed.
enough. Fuck you.
Larry has spoken.
Larry's going to bring it down to a 0 in a minute.
Larry has spoken. He has spoken. That's enough of that.
I have spoken.
He has spoken. Give it to us, Larry.
I have spoken.
His arms crossed, so he's gonna start to cry or whimper.
Pouting over here.
He's just gonna shifting back and forth in his
Larry's
chair.
pissed.
That was awesome.
The worst.
God damn it.
All right, there it is, everybody.
There it is.
Yep.
Well, thank you, Bruno.
Yes.
Thank you,
yes.
Mila.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Larry.
Thank you.
And thank you, everybody, for listening. We're Entertainment Rant at entertainmentrants.com. Check us out online. Send us a note. Let us know what you thought of The Mandalorian Season 3 and what you thought of the podcast. We'd love to hear from you. We're going to start on May. Coming up, we're going to be doing we decided to do, basically, it's spring. Right, it's a new spring anew. So we're gonna do directors' first movies essentially. I'm picking Kevin Smith to do Clerks. I think we do Clerks as one of them for his first movie. So that'll be one of the ones we do. We'll keep the other ones as a surprise that everybody picks their movie.
That's that big market tease right there, son.
That's right. You're gonna do it. Now you're supposed to be here today. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. We are Entertainment Rants. What are we gonna go out there and do?
Let's rant.
Let's take care of business.